We're well into the second round of the NBA playoffs, and we've seen some questionable and some favorable moments. We talk about it today on In the Zone by Hoop Talks. Come on. I'm Noor Zainab, Crina Mustafa, and this is In the Zone. We've brought it back. We were here last week. We're going to continue the rhythm going forward today. And the theme of our show is we have fun. We talk about basketball like the average fan, we're trying to reach the average Joe and the average Joanne.
Some culture.
Exactly.
Average Joe and
average
Joanne.
Joe and Joanne. You know, you gotta. It's called introducing and claiming everybody. But today we thought what would be fun to talk about is we're clearly just completely overdone April. We're into May now, which means you're well into the second round of the playoffs with the NBA. And it also means that we've seen some really fun and some cringy and some crazy moments. So we, Crina and I, came here today to give you guys our favorite memorable moments and some of the most cringiest moments that we've seen so far. So Crina, I'm going to throw it to you right away from the bat. What's been your favorite moment, the best moment so far in the NBA playoffs?
So last week when we did our fashion segment, we talked about Jimmy Butler and how he was Himmy Butler. And turns out he's Himmy both on and off the court. So we saw off the court last week with fashion. This week, game 2, once the Knicks tied it up between the Heat and the Knicks, they tied it up 1-1. We saw Jimmy Butler, who didn't play that game, and he was nodding. And you just knew something was coming. And now the Miami Heat are up 3-1 against the New York Knicks, and I just love that because you just knew that a performance was coming from him, and it was like over. That's for the Knicks.
That's so baller. That's so baller. Like, the fact that we saw him nod and we got scared. Let that be.
I was scared.
I was scared for the
Knicks.
Knicks. I'm like, the Mecca, you're gonna need like high security to make sure that he doesn't do anything. But when you see that, it's almost like when the greats get put to the test, right? It's like a MJ moment. It's like a Kobe moment where they're looking at the crowd, looking at being down. They're like, no, not when I get on the court. And that's chilling. Like I got goosebumps after, not before. Before, of course, too, you're just like, oh, we know Jimmy Butler. We know what he can do. But then watching that nod after he came on and won the game, crazy.
Do you know what I love about players like him? Because like you think about the Miami Heat, who are a pretty like iconic franchise. They've had lots of really great players kind of be the star of the team in recent years, whether it was like Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Chris Bosh. I know that's a trigger word for Raptors fans.
I hear it.
But now, like, as they've, like, all of that is in the past, and you're kind of looking for a new identity with this team. And the fact that Jimmy Butler, I'm not saying he's on, like, their level, but he's become the guy where he's like, I can take matters into my own hands, and I am the guy for this team to lead this team. And I just really love that, and it makes me respect him even more.
Is he the best playoff performer in the NBA right now?
Ooh.
I think he might be. We could say Giannis.
Kawhi's not in the playoffs anymore.
Kawhi needs to play in the playoffs. I'm so sorry. I love you. But Kawhi needs to be healthy enough to play in the playoffs to begin with. LeBron's being the most passive LeBron we've seen in the playoffs so far this year. And
maybe outside of like James Harden or Embiid.
Yeah, I would
maybe.
say Philly, right? Like, but the thing is, this Jimmy Butler is someone who can have 0 points the first half, and then the second half he takes over the game.
He takes all of the points.
Yeah, it's like 25 points the second half. It's crazy. And he's like the epitome of a guy who kind of like sleeps through the regular season. He's playing, but he's not like giving you his best effort. You have no idea what Jimmy Buckets is, but the second the playoffs come around, it's a whole different beast. Look at him with the Timberwolves, with Philly, now with freaking
the
Miami.
Knicks,
yeah, it's crazy to watch him do all these things, and I don't know. I think he might be the best playoff performer.
I like it. I like it.
Right? Okay. Well, I like what you had to say. Mine is, see, that speaks volumes about you as a person. You're like, oh no, the best moment for Jimmy Butler, and here I am, being petty. So my favorite moment was the Memphis Grizzlies getting eliminated.
Love it.
I am so sorry, but when you do things like that, when you're running around opening your mouth to everybody who can listen, when you're making your personality more than your game, when you're having so many off-court antics that your on-court dunks don't make up for it anymore, I'm gonna celebrate your demise. I am so sorry. Having to watch what Ja Morant went through the entire season. He's an amazing player, such a great NBA player, such great potential ahead of him. But to almost watch him like risk that a little bit on the side, that's a whole different conversation. I'm not going to touch that whatsoever. But just their dynamic, that crowd. I mean, Dylan Brooks, do we want to talk about what Dylan Brooks has been doing the whole time? He's not even allowed in.
He put himself in a permanent timeout.
They banished his ass. They're like, you're never coming back here ever again. And think about this for a second. Ja Morant literally had guns out all season long, pointing it at people, and the Grizzlies drew the line at Dylan Brooks being annoying. They're like, we're letting Dylan Brooks go. Guns, okay. You're annoying, get the hell out of here. For that reason, Dylan Brooks, I feel bad for you. But that's also why the Grizzlies deserved it. Like, everything that they've done prior to the postseason into the postseason has just been a questionable decision all the way through.
Like it's been mentioned, like it seems like they do need a veteran there or some type of leadership, because as great it is to have young talent in a very young team, you still need somebody there to kind of who has the experience to put this team together, because as we've seen with multiple teams in the NBA, including the Raptors, there's a lot of different personalities, a lot of different egos, and you have to learn how to manage all that to be successful.
And you want to see a successful pattern? Look at the Miami Heat. You got Kevin Love, you got Donis Haslem, you got Kyle Lowry. That's a veteran team, and that's why they're so far into the playoffs right now from the play-in. But we talked about the good stuff. We're not going to end the show with the good stuff. We're going to end the show with the cringe stuff. So, Crina, what has been your cringiest moment in the NBA so far?
My cringiest moment was when Austin Reeves shouted, "I'm him," in this clip.
You didn't like it?
Just listen to this. Just wait. He's letting the world know, I'm him. Maybe it's just like a side effect of playing with LeBron James. Like, listen to that. It's just like, yes. Okay, listen. Austin Reeves has been a good player for the Lakers. There's no denying that. I just thought it was funny because, like, even throughout the season, I think there was one game where, like, there was these girls that were sitting courtside and they were, like, laughing with him and like whatever, and then he just turned into like Michael Jordan for the rest of the game. Like, he is a different breed of human. It's so funny because if you look at him, not to like shade him, but if you were to just meet him regularly, he'd be like, "Hi, I'm Austin. I play in the NBA." And you'd be like,
"Show me your badge.
Sure?
Show me your badge." No, you don't. Where's your credentials?
So him yelling like, "I'm him" with that level of confidence.
I get it. Like, you're on your way to be hopefully a good player, but like, "I'm him." Do you know what him means? It's Himothy Butler. Himothy Butler can say that. Austin Reeves, I don't know. Give me 20 points.
I know. Like,
consecutively.
put them next to each other, and it's a little bit.
No, that is cringe. See, at first I was like, but then I'm like, wait a second. On the spectrum of people
also,
who are
the way he's yelling so loud, he wants everybody to hear him.
He's pumping his chest. He's like, "I am the Lakers," while LeBron's sitting on the bench right behind him. Yeah, I don't know about that, Austin Reeves. I agree, though. Actually, for me on the other side, it's got to be, let's go back to the Eastern Conference. Let's look at the Knicks. Julius Randle. If we could please have the clip of him being
Julius,
the cringiest.
You guys haven't been able to get the amount of offensive rebounds and loose balls that you were in the Cleveland series. Just what have they done, maybe to kind of beat you at your own game almost?
Just maybe they wanted more. I don't know. That's been who we are all year, and we got to find a way to, step up and make those plays if we want to keep the season alive.
Julius, to that, where do you go to find
I don't know about that one.
In the middle of a series?
But I think
I look within. That's all I can say. Look within. How bad do you want it?
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but I think for you to go out there and say, "I think this other team wanted it more," and the series not over yet.
Also, the answer to the question that was asked was a good one.
Yeah.
Like, the reporter was asking about like how Miami is using like their own game to beat you at your own game, and he's like, maybe they wanted it more. Like, why don't you want it more?
But you can't think of your own offense. Like, you can think of what. Just give me a reason why you can't drop the offense that they have. If anything, you have more shooters on your squad than the Miami Heat do. So what do you mean they wanted it more? Do you just not want to win? But to say that with that level of defeat, with your teammates listening, the fan base listening, the owners listening, like everybody listening,
and the series is not even over at that point. So like I could understand that maybe after a series loss, when there's no more games to be played, but how do you go and say that and then walk back to your locker room and try to pump your guys up for the next one?
Exactly. And because in that moment, I'm getting the vibe that you've admitted defeat.
Yeah.
You've given
up.
up.
The towel.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know about that one. I think that was like weird to me. On the other side of it too, when people are talking, like, let's talk about Draymond Green. Draymond Green hosting a podcast in the middle of the second round while his team is down. I don't want to hear about what kind of commitment that is to his post NBA career, whatever that may be. You're in the NBA right now. Why are you recording podcasts? He's not getting shots up. He's going great. He's at the game. Game's done. Daps everybody up. Clocks out. Goes home. Gets like this. Sitting right here like this. Well, game 3 reactions with Draymond Green as I was just on the court playing for the Golden State Warriors and I'm Draymond Green. Like, what are you talking about? I want to see you actually put some shots up. To see an NBA player, I don't want to come at anyone's like, their work ethic.
No, but it's like him coming on his podcast and then talking about how Sabonis didn't shake hands and how that was unsportsmanlike. Like literally 2 games after he stomped on his chest. Like I'm just like, it's that kind of stuff where I'm like, okay.
Yeah. No. Like at no point does he hold any kind of moral value when it comes to being the best NBA player, but then for him to go in and constantly be like ridicule other people out there is crazy to me, and kind of like almost question their effort and their commitment to the game. Jordan Poole is crazy to me because this is game, you're facing elimination game tonight. Thank God last game he had no podcast, or I would have been like, I think he's one-way ticket out, going straight to Clutch Sports afterwards. But I can't get over the fact that he has a podcast and he does his own live reactions. He comes back home, he's like, yeah, this play right here, so I did this play, and this play was supposed to go this way, and then bam, you know what, Jordan Poole, though, Andrew Wiggins could have a better night. LeBron James, I love LeBron James. LeBron James is my savior.
It looks like you're like making him say all of these things.
Like that, I cannot get into it, Cree. What's your thought on that?
I have my thoughts about Draymond on this podcast. It's cringe, definitely a cringe moment. But yeah, if you guys want to let us know what you guys think the cringiest moment was, if you agree or not agree, if you're like, let Draymond.
Yeah, let us know how much
Draymond
you agree.
podcast. It's your prerogative.
Let us know how much you agree or like disagree, or if you think that we could have had better best moments or cringe moments. I think we did pretty good, but we're always open to listen for sure anytime. But this is not over. We'll be back again next Wednesday in the zone. Myself, Crina Mustafa Noor Zainab, and we'll catch you guys next time.